I was crying that they was at the house, and she was like, yeah, I got your sisters for you. It was hard to do, but I did it, but I wasn't able to get your brother. And I was like, why? And he said, but she's like, your brother's not far. He's right up the street, 2 blocks up from you. So you could always see your brother. You could always visit him. You're not far, but I'm not able to take all of you because I don't have the space. So he's up the street. So my brother lived right up the street from me. And then my 2 little sisters ended up coming to this house. Now, I got to that house when I was about 11 or 12 years old, and I spent the majority of my teenage adult time in this home. I left there when I was about 18 years old. This household was very strict, y'all. I couldn't do shit. So you got to remember, I'm coming from a place where I did what I wanted to do. I took care of myself. Nobody took care of me but me. You understand? So I cooked, I cleaned, I took care of my sisters, I did their hair, I made sure they were good, I made sure I was good. So coming into this household was confined, meaning that I couldn't go out, I couldn't have phone calls, I had rules to follow in this house, and I was a rebellious child because I'm coming from a place like, bitch, I can do what I want to do, you know what I mean? And I want to say this, I'm so grateful for that household because it taught me to be the woman who I am today. The structure that I got in the household was good for me, which I didn't know at the time. At the time, I was like, this bitch is mean. I can't do shit. I want to go outside. I can't leave out my gate. I want to hang out with my friends. I can't hang out with them. I can't do shit. She was so strict on me where I used to sneak out at night just to hang out with my friends. I used to sneak out the garage door. I used to sneak out in the back door. I used to give my sisters candy so they wouldn't tell on me so I could hang out. I couldn't even have a fucking boyfriend. I couldn't even get phone calls. I used to sneak phone calls on the phone. And then after a while, you know what I mean, she started to loosen up on me and having some trust, where I was able to start having friends, because she was against all my friends, because a lot of my friends at the time, we were gangsters. We were in a gang. We used to hang out with a group of boys, you know what I mean? We used to hang out with them and they used to hang out with us. And a lot of my friends at the time ended up getting pregnant young, at 14. They ended up getting pregnant at 15. And so those group of ladies that that were my best friends, we ended up separating. And it's so funny how I gravitated to the group of friends, because we all had our own little issues going on in our house. Well, I know I did, and a few other ones they did too. But we gravitated to each other because we basically, that's all we had, really. You know what I mean? Like, that's all we had, actually. So after hanging out with them, and then they end up getting pregnant. And I at the time, I wasn't even having sex, because I remember one time when I came home with a hickey on my neck, and my foster mother, she was like pressing my hair, and she's like, if I ever see you having sex, I'm gonna stick this popcorn up your vagina. You better not have sex. So I was scared to have sex. She even took me to a GYN. When they had put my legs up, I was petrified. I must have been like 13 or 14, 15 years old. And she had the man check my vagina, and the man had to tell her she's not having sex because my hymen wasn't broken. She never apologized to me. She always thought I was out there fucking somebody, but I wasn't. Anyway, they end up all having babies and problems in their house, so we kind of separated. Then I end up hanging out with this other young lady. Hi, Tanya. I mean, not Tanya. Hi, Tammy. All these T's in my life. That's so funny, because at the time, my name was Tariq. My first best friend, her name was Tanya. And then my next best friend, her name was Tammy. And Tammy was a beautiful girl. She's still beautiful to this day. Beautiful, gorgeous girl that everybody used to fuck with. Everybody used to like hate on her and want to fight. And since I was like this tough girl, and she came from a well-rounded family, mother and father, and I was tricked. I was attracted to that because I wanted that same household. You know what I mean? And so we started hanging out really tough together, going to parties. She used to steal her father's car. We used to go drive and go to parties. And at the time, let me take it back. The group of girls I started hanging out with, They ended up having kids, except for like one of them. Me and this particular girl, her name was Janine. Her name was Janine, and me and her became really close. And we used to sneak out and go to like Amityville to go party and stuff like that. Me and her fell out over a guy. She thought I wanted to talk to some guy that tried to talk to both of us, but she didn't believe me that this guy was trying to talk to me. And I used to tell her like, yo, such and such is trying to talk to me. And he had a car. He was way older than us, and he was manipulating us and not knowing. We didn't know what he was doing. So she flipped on me for the guy. She totally flipped on me. She actually, the whole school, the whole North Babylon kind of flipped on me. They all wanted to fight me. I bet you nobody to this day can tell you why y'all wanted to jump me. Why y'all wanted to jump me, right? But because I was from out of town, I'm a Brooklyn girl. So all of that takes a place. When you're not from out there, they test you. You know what I mean? So a lot of my friends end up flipping on me and not talking to me. So I always felt like I was an outsider and by myself anyway. You know what I mean? So that happened. I'm not going to even get into the deep story on, they were jumping me. Let me tell you, they used to jump me to the point where, where if I went out to somebody's house, they would all end up there and want to jump me. If I went to a party, they was all there, to the point where anywhere I went and I seen them, I just swung first, because I knew that later on I was getting ready to get my ass kicked and get jumped. You get what I'm saying? So, and I started hanging out with my girlfriend Tammy, because they didn't like her because she was pretty and all the dudes wanted her. They used to say she was a hoe, she fuck all these niggas and all that, because they were hating on her. So me and her used to hang tough. She used to steal her father's car. We used to go to parties and just hang really, really tough. Until I met a guy and I ended up falling in love. When I met this dude, hi Saquon, if you're on here. When I met this dude, I ended up falling in love with him, and he was a 5%. He's the one that introduced me into the 5% nation, right? So, and at this time I'm a virgin. I'm like 18 years old, a virgin. I met this guy and I fell in love with him. I was always at his house in Wyandanch, and then he found out that all these girls was, jumping me all the time. So he ended up getting all his sisters, his cousins, females from Wyandanch, like family members. And one day they all was like, who's jumping you? Who's jumping you? We went to their house. Long story. So I end up having a group of friends from Wyandanch that kind of was protecting me. So anyway, as I met this guy, I tried to bring him home and to let my foster mother know, like, hey, I met this guy, whatever. Introduced it to her. She was like, no, because he was like he was a hood nigga. He was a street nigga, 5%, and she didn't like that. And because she didn't like that, she forbid me to even be around him. So what did I do? I started rebelling. I started sneaking out, spending the night at his house. One time I ran away. This one time I ran away. I was in his house for like 3-4 days. His own mother didn't even know I was downstairs in the basement. I was downstairs in the basement hiding out because I didn't want to go home. Anyway, the mother realized that I was hiding out. So she was like, no, you gotta go. You can't be in my house. Da da da. So when I end up going back home, did the cops get involved? I don't think the cops got involved. I ended up going back home. And when I got back home, it was hell broke out. Like, you was gone for 3 days. They had to call the cops because, they had to call the foster agency because I was gone. They wanted to know where the people live. I wouldn't give out the address so they didn't get in trouble. Ooh, I'm doing better at it because yesterday's story that didn't load, I was boo-hooing. So anyway, so they were, so all of that happened. The cops and the social worker had to come. So when the social worker came, she was like, I gotta move you. And I was like, I want to leave. I said, I had to leave. I had to find out who I am. Because the whole entire time, even when I was living in that household, I still was taking care of my sister. I still was doing their hair. I still was bathing them. I still was getting them dressed. I still was cooking for them. I still was caring for them. You understand? I didn't have no freedom to myself, and she didn't give me no freedom to myself. This is why I always had to sneak out to hang out with my friends, sneak out to go to birthday parties, I sneaked and did everything. You get what I'm saying? And it was so bad that I used to cut school with my friends just to hang out, or didn't come home from school just to hang out with them. You know what I mean? And I remember when I had to wanted to join track or basketball, she was always clocking me to make sure that I was at the place, because I guess, I was rebellious. You know what I mean? I wasn't used to rules and regulations. So she was instilling that in me, and I was taking it, I was following, but sometimes I wanted to just be a child and hang out like the rest of my friends. I couldn't do it. So I wanted to leave. And I felt bad that I wanted to leave, because I was leaving behind my sister and my brother. They ended up getting adopted. They had asked me if I wanted to be adopted, and I was like, no. I knew my mother. I love my mother. I didn't want no other mother. She was my only mother. This woman was just a foster mother to me. But I can't say that for my two little sisters, because that's all they know. They got there when they were 1 and 2 years old. They didn't know nobody else but them. You understand? So when it was, and they had no say for the adoption. And I also want to say this. I want to give credit to my foster mother, because she wasn't the typical foster mother. She asked my mother, that they came to her and asked to adopt her children, and would she mind if she adopted them? And my mother told, and first my mother was like, no. But then after, when she realized that she wasn't going to get us back, she told her, yeah. She adopted my two little sisters, and I didn't take the adoption. But one thing that she did do after the adoption and everything went over, because we used to get visitations. She used to take us to the center to go see my mother on Christmas, holidays, on our birthdays, and all of those things. But when the adoption went through, that was no longer, she didn't have to do that no more. But what she did do was kept in contact with mother. And when we had Thanksgiving, when we had Christmas, she used to go and pick my mother up from the train station and bring her to the house. She used to bring her to the house to spend time with her kids. No other foster mother did that. She made sure that she stayed in contact. Because I used to stress to Mrs. Herman, it's like, my mother, she want me to take care of them, make sure they're okay. And she knew my mother loved us. So anytime that my mother requested a visit or wanted to see us, she brought us to see our mother. You understand? And so when the adoption people came, she made sure that we still stay in contact with my mother. She had us call her. When one time it was Thanksgiving, she invited my mother to the house. It was our birthday. She did everything for us to stay in contact with my mom. And I'm so grateful for her for that, So I ended up leaving. Let's get back to it. I ended up leaving. She was very hurt that I wanted to leave, because remember, I'm her first one. And so she was kind of hurt by that, but I needed to go. And I left. Let me tell you something. I was in 12th grade when I left. I had 6 months to go from graduation, and I wanted to leave. I just had to get out of the house. 1, because I was super in love. 2, I wanted my freedom. Like, I was tired of taking care of my sisters. I was tired. And not that I didn't love them. I just was tired of that burden of me taking care of them. So they ended up taking me to Amityville, to another home. Now, this woman had several kids or whatever, and she used to, she was familiar with the foster kid, whatever, foster caring, I should say. So I end up leaving my brother that lived up the street. Now, tell you, me and my brother, we always hung out with each other. He lived right up the street, I lived down the street. So me and him was in contact, and we was back and forth. He would come to the house, I would go to the house, but he went through his own shit in that house that I didn't even know. He went through his own abuse in that foster home. Okay. The home that he was in was not like the home that I came from. I was blessed to be in the home that I was taken to, and spent most of my teenage years there. Okay, even though it was rough, okay, because ain't nobody can love you like if she was my mom. She loved me, but she didn't love me like if I was her own kid. okay? So it was rough, but it wasn't abusive. I want to say that. It wasn't abusive, okay? But I know where my brother was at, up the road from me, it wasn't an easy road for him, which I didn't even know, because we were kids, so I didn't even know. So anyway, they moved me, and when I was moving, my brother was sad that I was leaving. Of course, my sisters, they were terrified, like, where am I going? But I told them that I wasn't going far. I was going somewhere else, and we would stay in contact. And they knew I was leaving because I was bad, because I used to bribe them, so I end up in Amityville, in this woman's home, okay? And she knew my MO because they told her my MO. And I ended up going to Amityville. And because I'm coming from North Babylon, I automatically get it to be forget. I was always had to defend myself. I don't know what it is. I didn't go in starting trouble. I didn't go in being this tough girl, like, hey, you know, I'm from here. I never. It's just was always had to defend myself. Okay, so I'm in Amityville, and I meet. I'm in Amityville, and I end up graduating from Amityville High School, and even that foster mother, she was good to me as well. You know, she had a daughter, she had an only daughter, and they were good to me, but I was a badass. You know what I mean? I did what I wanted to do, and she allowed me. She gave me more freedom than the household I came from. I had more freedom. I was able to go out. Remember, I didn't have my sisters to take care of anymore, so I was out all the time doing what I had to do. And then what happened after that? I graduated, right? So I graduated from there, and I remember going back to North Babylon, sitting in the audience on their graduation day, and they called my name, and I stood up, and everybody was like, ah, T! You know, because I was supposed to graduate from there, but I left them like 4 months before I graduated. So I'm in Amityville, and I wanted to leave because at 18, 19 years old, you can leave the foster care system if you want to. So I'm missing a memory in my head, y'all, because I'm missing a memory. Oh, I met my baby's father, my first child. I met him. Oh, I did leave Amityville. I didn't want to stay there no more. So they brought me to a foster home in Freeport. Because after I graduated, you know, it was time for me to go. I think she didn't want me there anymore. I wanted to leave. You know, they hear me jump in the boat again, didn't want to listen to rules, whatever, and I ended up going to Freeport to go live in this other home. Now, this home had mad foster kids, and they were my age. I think it was like a group home for like teenagers, you know, for like young adults, 18, 19 years old. We all had our own room. I didn't have my own room. I just shared with another girl. I was in North Babylon. So they were helping me get into college, which was Nassau College, to go to college. And meanwhile, so I get registered to go to college. I had no clue what I was doing in there. Nobody was giving me no guidance. I was just going there. I was just going to college. Didn't have a clue. Like, nobody told me. Like, it was so much freedom. And, you know, I was taking classes. I didn't even know where to go. I was sitting in the auditorium and in the student lounge, not just playing spades and smoking weed. Like, I didn't even know. I had no structure when they sent me to the school. They did everything for me and told me this is where I was going. And they told me I had to get on a bus to go down here. Totally new to that, to North Babylon. To Freeport. So, I get a job at McDonald's. And because, you know, they trying to teach me independency, go to college and stuff like that. I get a job at McDonald's, and this is how I met my baby father. And we're going to leave it there because I ended up getting into an abusive relationship. Abusive relationship. Because it's almost like trouble always follow me, or I just always wanted to be loved. You know what I mean? Like, somebody to love me. And this person, I didn't even tell you what happened. My first love, the one I was with, and I ended up leaving. We ended up losing contact because I ended up going to Amityville, and he lived way in Wyandanch. So we ended up losing contact. He used to try to come see me in Amityville, and come to find out, he was messing with a girl in Amityville. Was he in Amityville? On Wyandanch, and I found out. So that relationship end up, dead. You know what I mean? But when I got to Freeport in this new home and ended up going to college and ended up working at McDonald's, I met my baby's father. Okay, and I ended up meeting him at McDonald's, and I ended up getting pregnant by him. And got pregnant by him, and I was his first love. You know, young, and you meet somebody, he loved me, and I thought I loved him, but I didn't love him, and I didn't want to have this baby, and I was in an abusive relationship. I mean, this man used to fuck me up, okay? He used to... We're going to talk about this tomorrow, because I can't even go through the motions right now. Okay, guys? So that was a lot. If I might have to come back and... I think I did the timeline pretty good. But we will talk more about my abusive relationship with my first baby father. Okay? Which I didn't even want to have this baby. Like... Yeah. Talk to you later. Peace.